Hello, problem solvers. Hello, thinkers. Welcome to social studies. Now, last time we had a social studies lesson, we talked about stereotypes and how stereotypes can turn into bias and prejudice. But today, we are going to talk about injustice and disrespect. Now, I want to know what that means to you. So, I would like everybody before coming back to Zoom to go on over to Class Dojo and fill out the injustice and disrespect survey and submit it to either Megan or I. You may pause the video and do that now, or you may wait and do it afterwards. That's totally up to you. Now, these are our objectives for today, the things for us to focus on. And I hope that when our lesson is done, you will feel confident about each of these skills and ideas. Let's read them together. I know when people are treated unfairly, and I can give examples of prejudiced words, pictures, and rules. And I know that words, behaviors, rules, and laws that treat people unfairly based on their group identities cause real harm. This is a very important subject. I'm really glad that we're talking about it today. So, what is injustice? Injustice is when someone or a group of people are treated unfairly. When we are talking about injustice today, we're going to talk about unfairness that is because of who someone is, often because of parts of their identity. So let's talk about what that word unfair means. What are some situations or things that are unfair? There are a lot of things that may seem unfair that aren't necessarily injustices, but the important line to think about is that injustices are things that are unfair based off of who somebody is. So if you ever have been teased or called a bad name, that is injustice. If you have ever felt left out because of your gender, because if you're a girl or a boy, then you've experienced injustice. If somebody has ever judged you or teased you because of the color of your skin, that is a huge injustice. If you've ever been teased for the way that you speak, or if you have ever been teased because of yours or a family member's disability, these are all injustices based on stereotypes, and we can be better. We can fight against these things. Let's find out how. Let's take a closer look at the word prejudice. It looks like prejudge, yes? In other words, judging before knowing, or using stereotypes. Discrimination is when a person or group of people is treated unfairly due to the prejudices against them. Now, stereotypes lead to prejudice, and prejudice can lead to discrimination, which is treating people worse because of their identity. Being mean or disrespectful is never okay, but today we're going to focus on examples of being hurtful to someone because of the part of their identity. Now, there are some major examples of injustice and discrimination in history. Can you think of some? Holocaust, the internment of Japanese Americans, slavery, segregation, unequal pay. These are all examples of a group of people being treated unfairly because of parts of their identity. Now we're going to look at some really important words to know while talking about this subject. And those words are racism, inequality, heterosexism, and sexism. Very important. Let's dive deeper into what these words mean. Racism is the unfair treatment of people of a specific race or ethnicity, usually based on the idea that whiteness is superior. We are better than this, and we know that this is not true. We do not use stereotypes. Inequality, when some people have more rights, protections, or privileges than others. Heterosexism, unfair treatment of people who identify as gay or bisexual, is usually based on the idea that opposite gender relationships between a man and a woman, are the only thing that's okay or normal. We know that this is not true. Sexism is unfair treatment of someone due to their gender, when women are treated unfairly because of their gender. Now, those definitions focus on a few specific groups, but we know that injustice also happens to people with disabilities, or older or younger people, immigrants, people that have different religions, people with different body types. The list goes on and on and on and on. Can you think of other groups of people who are treated unfairly or that injustices happen to? Take a moment to think about that. Now, it's important that we understand the difference between true injustices versus smaller things that seem a little unfair. Like someone getting a bigger slice of cake than you, or someone getting to go first in line. Those things do seem unfair, absolutely, but they're probably not injustices. So, how do we know if something is unjust? How do we know if something is truly unfair and wrong and something needs to be done? I really want you guys to think about this. This is what I would like your entry ticket to Zoom to be. I would like everybody to take the time to write 2 or 3 sentences really thinking deeply about this question. How do we know if something is unjust? And how do we know if something is truly wrong and something needs to be done? In order to stop it, we have to be able to spot it. How do we spot it? How do we know what is an injustice? Go ahead. I'll go back to the question. Go ahead and answer this question in a few simple sentences. And bring your answers with you to Zoom. And either me or Megan will see you there as we continue our conversation about injustice. Thank you, problem solvers, and thank you, thinkers. Bye.